Imagine, just for a second, this sort of unassuming underdog, not born looking like a star.
Right.
And then you have this young talent, a jockey, just getting started, really. And then, boom, this almost like mythical year where everything clicks, pure will meets destiny. What happens then?
It's a powerful mix.
Well, today, that's exactly the kind of story we're diving into. We're looking at the incredible life and career of T.M. He was known as the Millennium Emperor.
A Japanese racehorse who just dominated like few others.
Exactly. And our insights, they come from exploring biographical accounts, especially one called T.M. Millennium no Hasha. It really paints the picture.
It does. A fascinating read.
So our mission here is to unpack this journey. The horse, his bond with his jockey, that truly legendary season.
Yeah, the one that cemented his place in history.
And we want to show you how perseverance and trust and just sheer willpower, how they can defy all expectations. So let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the sources make it pretty clear. T.M. wasn't exactly bred for superstardom, right? His start was, well, humble.
Absolutely. Very humble. His sire, Opera House, not really a proven name in Japan at the time. And Opera O himself, as a foal, described as just fairly ordinary.
Ordinary. Not what you expect.
No, nothing screamed future champion. And the auction, well, that tells a story. He sold for the minimum price.
Wow. The minimum. So someone saw something.
Seems like it. Owner Masatsugu Takezono, he bought him. It really challenges that idea that greatness is always obvious from the start,
It really does. A true rags to riches beginning, almost. And that name, TM from the stable, Opera from the sire, and the O, signifying the owner wanted a champion. That feels incredibly prophetic now.
Almost like willing it into existence, yeah. But then the trainer, Ichitsu Iwamoto, makes this really interesting move. The jockey choice.
Ah, yes, the partnership. That's key here.
It really is. Iwamoto gives the ride on this, ordinary horse to Ryuji Wada.
Yeah.
Super young jockey, just in his third year professionally.
Third year. That's quite a risk.
A huge risk. It wasn't like pairing up proven stars. This was, as our sources put it, the start of an unusual and enduring partnership.
What do you think Iwamoto saw there in Wada? Or in that specific pairing? Why take that chance? It says a lot about believing in potential, doesn't it?
It really does. You have to think Iwamoto saw something. Maybe a shared hunger. Or maybe he figured a young jockey could grow with the horse, develop that unique bond.
Instead of an established rider with maybe their own set ways.
Exactly. It's about fostering that connection, protecting that raw talent maybe, looking long-term, not just for the quick win. That decision turned out to be foundational.
And it wasn't instant success, was it? That underdog story kept going. His debut, not great. Lost his first race, then picked up a minor injury.
Right. No immediate fireworks. It wasn't a straight line to glory at all. But then, 1999, after he comes back from the injury, things start to change.
Okay, so he starts to find his feet.
He does. He wins his maiden race, gets that first win under his belt. Then he wins the Yukianagi Show, and then the Mainichi High.
And suddenly, this ordinary horse is actually heading towards the classics, the big races for 3-year-olds.
Yeah, suddenly he's on the radar. And this is where Iwamoto's belief pays off again. Opera O wasn't even nominated for the Triple Crown races initially.
No kidding. So he wasn't even supposed to be in the Satsuki show, the Japanese 2000 guineas.
Nope. But Iwamoto pushed for a late entry. A decision that, like the source says, changed everything.
And then the race itself.
Incredible. Satsuki show. Opera O comes from way outside this blistering late charge. Just flies past the favorites, wins it.
Wow. Just like that.
It wasn't just a big win for the horse. It was Ryuji Wada's first ever G1 victory. Group 1, the absolute top tier.
His first G1. So this is where the legend really starts for both of them. That belief, that calculated risk, it paid off spectacularly.
Totally. It just shifted the whole narrative. For the horse, for the jockey, a huge moment.
But even after that massive win, 1999 wasn't all smooth sailing. It was kind of a year of almost in the other big ones, right?
That's right. He ran really well, but didn't quite get there again. Third in the Derby, second in the Kikukusho, the St. Ledger equivalent, and then third in the big Arima Kinen at the end of the year.
Always close. Always fighting for it, but just not quite on top again. Like he was right there, knocking on the door.
And, when that happens, people start talking, doubts creep in, and some of the blame started falling on the young jockey, Ryuji Wada.
Ah, the pressure mounts. They said he wasn't experienced enough.
Yeah, the whispers were he wasn't polished enough for those high-pressure finishes. Our sources even say the owner, Takezono, actually demanded a rider change after that second place in the Kikukusho.
Wow. Pressure from the owner himself.
Yeah.
That's intense. So what happened? Did Iwamoto buckle?
No. And this is crucial. Trainer Iwamoto stood firm. Refused. He was reportedly determined to grow both horse and jockey together.
Incredible loyalty and foresight, sticking with them both.
Absolutely. That shows amazing resilience, right? Not just from the horse and rider, but the trainer, too. Holding that line against pressure. That trust is vital. It's about the long game, developing talent, not just reacting to one or two races. Real mentorship.
And that commitment, that refusal to break up the partnership, the payoff was just around the corner. And it was massive, because then came the year 2000.
The millennium year.
Not just a new millennium, but for TM Opera O, it became, well, history, the single greatest season by a Japanese racehorse. This is where it gets truly legendary.
You can't overstate it.
Seriously. In 2000, TM Opera O went unbeaten, completely undefeated.
8 races.
8 consecutive wins, including, get this, 5 G1 victories.
In a row. 5. Just think about that. The highest level of racing, 5 straight wins.
He swept the entire middle distance championship series, the Tenno Show Spring, the Takarazuka Kinen, the Tenno Shot Autumn, the Japan Cup, and the Arima Kinen. It's almost hard to believe one horse did all that in one season.
And what's amazing looking back is how he won. He wasn't just fast, he was versatile. He showed a different kind of brilliance each time out.
So not just a speed horse.
Not at all. Sometimes he'd sit off the pace and just explode in the stretch. Other times he'd have to grind it out, show real grit. And sometimes the tactics against him were unbelievable, and he'd just find a way. Adaptability.
Like that 2000 Arima Kinen you mentioned. That sounds dramatic.
Oh, it was peak drama. The rival trainers knew how good his finishing kick was. They knew about his willpower. So they basically, they ganged up on him.
Ganged up how?
They deliberately tried to box him in, created this wall of horses around him on the final turn, trying to block his run completely. A calculated move to shut him down.
You can just imagine the tension, thinking the champion's trapped.
Exactly. But somehow, and this is where the legend really shines, Opera O, with Wada guiding him, just muscle through, found a gap powered through this wall of horses and surged clear to win. Fans still talk about it. Pure willpower.
Unbelievable. Just refusing to lose.
That's what it looks like. Mental toughness matching the physical talent. Defying the odds, defying the tactics.
And layered on top of all this dominance was this incredible rivalry, right? With Meisho Dodo.
Yes. That just adds another layer to the legend. In 4 of those 5 G1 wins in 2000, the runner-up, same horse every time, Meisho Dodo.
4 times in second. He must have been sick of the sight of Opera.
You'd think so. Always there, always pushing him so close, but never quite getting past the Emperor that year. It was the kind of epic dual racing fans live for.
Absolutely. So end of 2000, undefeated, horse of the year, nicknamed the end of the century overlords. What does a season like that mean in racing terms?
It means immortality, basically. It sets a benchmark. It's not just a great year, it's a historic achievement that people will talk about forever. Absolute supremacy. A legacy cemented.
But perfection like that, it's hard to maintain, right?
Moving into 2001, things shifted a bit. Yeah, the sources suggest he wasn't quite as untouchable. Maybe age and wear began to catch up, as they put it. Plus, the rivals got better, maybe figured out ways to challenge him more effectively. That perfect storm of 2000 was just unique.
He still had some fight left in him, though.
Oh, definitely. He still won the Tenno Show Spring. Again, in 2001. That was his 7th career G1 win.
7th, putting him up there with absolute legends like Simboli Rudolph.
Exactly. He couldn't quite snag an 8th G1, but 7 is still incredible. Shows his enduring class.
He kept running well, placing in races, still competitive.
Absolutely ran with honor. But that absolute dominance wasn't quite there. His final race came in the 2001 Arima Kinen. And fittingly, perhaps, he finished behind his old rival, Meisho Dodo.
Wow. Dodo finally got him in the end.
He did. And kind of poetically, the sources say they both retired together that day. End of an era for both of them.
And throughout it all, every single race, Ryuji Wada was the jockey. That bond never broke.
Never. From start to finish, unshakable. And you saw how much it meant at the retirement ceremony. Wada was apparently very emotional.
What did he say?
Something like, Opera gave me everything, but I couldn't give back enough. One day, I want to become a jockey he would truly be proud of. Just shows that deep connection. that maybe Wada felt he still had something to prove, even after all that success.
That's powerful. So Opera O goes off to stud.
Yep, new chapter. Didn't set the world on fire producing flat racers, but did sire some solid horses, especially in steeplechasing. So his influence continued, just maybe in a different way.
And then sadly.
Sadly, yes. He passed away in May 2018. Heart attack, he was 22. A huge loss for racing fans, genuinely mourned. But his story, and Wada's, wasn't quite over.
Right, because Wada's journey after Opera O retired was tough.
Really tough. He was a solid, reliable jockey, no doubt. But winning another JRA G1, it just didn't happen for nearly 17 years.
17 years without a top-level win. After reaching the absolute peak, that takes some serious mental fortitude.
Imagine. Sources mention a 120-race losing streak in G1s at one point. Just grinded away year after year. Incredible perseverance.
But then redemption, and the timing is just uncanny.
It really is. 2018, just 1 month after TM Opera O passed away, Riji Wada rides Mickey Rocket in the Takarazuka Kinen.
One of the races Opera O dominated back in 2000.
Exactly. And Wada wins. Yeah. Finally breaks that 17-year G1 drought.
Oh, wow. That must have been incredibly emotional.
You could see it. And his words in the winner's interview, they hit hard. He said, Opera O gave me the push today. He was with me.
Chills. Just wow.
It felt like this perfect, poignant full circle, you know? The horse who made him, the rider who carried that legacy, still connected, even beyond death.
That bond just transcended everything.
It seems like it did, and it's right. Even now, more than 20 years later, TM Opera O's name still has this immense weight, this respect. It symbolizes so much.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more. Check out our other videos for more stories you might enjoy.